Week 2 of Quarter 4, Comparing and Contrasting Pandemics. This is what we are talking about for the next 2 weeks in our world history class. So we're going to start by discussing what is a pandemic. So our lesson 1 is Introduction to Pandemics. We need to understand the word pandemic. Give yourself a chance to practice that word, pandemic. And we need to talk about how people react to them and what examples of pandemics we have seen throughout history. So let's look here. What is a pandemic? Pandemics are diseases that spread around the world. Usually this means more than 2 countries in different regions have the disease. So let's talk about what we see. These are examples of people that are sick. I see a sick person. I see a disease. I see a virus. I see people with masks trying to be healthy. I see healthcare professionals. I see a map. I see many different continents, and the diseases in red and orange are spreading. I see that these are different pandemics that are different types of the flu. So let's talk about other examples of a pandemic besides the flu. The first, most obvious one to you all right now is coronavirus. You all know what that is, I'm sure, but let's talk about it more specifically. So, coronavirus, also called COVID-19, is a pandemic. There are over 700,000 people with the virus in about 200 different countries. There have been over 35,000 deaths. If I click on this link, we can see all the different cases and different facts about the virus. So right now, there are 753,385 people with the virus. About 158,783 people have recovered, meaning they had the virus, but now they are healthy. Then we can go see the total number of cases, how they spread from January to March around the world, and the same thing for deaths, the number of deaths that happened back in January, and the number of deaths we now have here on March 28th. If you keep looking, there is a list of the different countries and specific facts about the virus, deaths, and other things related to it in that specific country. This website is linked on your Google slide if you want to look through it further. Let's see here. They also have a list of symptoms, meaning effects on the body. They have a mortality rate, meaning how often people die, and they have a few other facts on here. I recommend you check it out if you have time. So if we look at my presentation on this, we can see that I have a map here of where it has spread around the world. We can see it's a pandemic because it is definitely in more than 2 different countries and in several different regions. It is on all 7 continents: North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, and, well, I guess it's not in Antarctica, so we can't say it's in all 7, but it's in 6. It is in 6 different continents. And as you can see, we have many healthcare professionals working to help those people with the virus. And this is what the virus looks like on a microscopic level, meaning what it looks like in the cell, what it looks like in the body. So now we need to ask the question, who is affected by coronavirus? What are the effects? Coronavirus kills about 3 to 4% of the people infected. The people most affected by this disease are old people, men, and people who smoke. However, anybody can be hurt or even die by the virus if they do not take care of themselves. This is why it's so important that everyone goes to see a doctor if they are not feeling well and that you are taking good care of yourself. This is a big problem. There are many people who will die from this disease if we do not find ways to stop it from spreading. That is why schools and businesses are closed until things get better. This is an important time in history. So now let's talk about what are its effects. So let's take a look at this infographic. The virus enters through the nose and mouth, and then it finds a host cell in the respiratory system. This means it's going into your lungs. The host cell then bursts and infects other cells nearby. If you have taken biology, you might know a little bit about this. If not, just know the virus goes in through your nose or mouth, travels down your throat to your lungs, and there it spreads. It causes the effects of a runny nose, a cough, a sore throat, and it causes a very high temperature. There are other pandemics that have happened throughout history as well. For the next 2 weeks, we will learn about 2 other important pandemics in history. This is so we can see how pandemics have affected other places and time periods culturally, economically, and politically. We can learn from their successes, failures, and challenges. In this class, we will learn about the Black Plague or Black Death from 1346 CE to 1353 CE. And we will learn about the Spanish flu from 1918 to 1920 CE. Now let's talk about how to complete your assignments, because I know that's what most of you are most worried about right now with this class. So let's start here. You have 2 different assignments due this Friday that I am assigning to you today. The first one is Introduction to Pandemics. Okay, so Introduction to Pandemics, pictures, sentences, and predictions. Your first set of instructions: find 3 pictures that show what the word pandemic means. Copy and paste them here. Okay, so when I think of the word pandemic, I think of disease. I think of sick people. I think around the world. So I might Google those 3 things into Google Images and see what pictures show up. So I'm going to go up here so you can see my different tabs. I go to New Tab, and I go Sick People. And I look at pictures of sick people, and I'm going to choose one. So I'm going to choose this person. So I'm going to click on the picture. I'm going to Control-click, copy image, and then go back to my assignment. Click here, paste. Okay? Now I need to do 2 more. You can also click on the picture, click the bottom squares to make it smaller, so that way you have more room. And if you click this wrap text button, it doesn't get in the way. Well, as much, I should say. You know what? We'll go back here. That's better. Okay. So let's do another one. So I said I think of sick people. I think of the word disease. So I'm going to type in disease. Okay, so this shows me what the diseases look like on a cellular level. I also see examples of people with a disease. So I think what I might choose is a picture of the disease on a cellular level. So I click the picture, click copy image, go back here, click, Control, click, paste. Okay, so now I have another picture. So now I'm at 20 points, 40 points. Okay, I need 1 more. So now I think it happens around the world. So I might do a map of the world. Okay, so then I click here, click copy, I click paste. And again, I might make it smaller so that way I can complete the rest of my assignment a little bit easier. So now I have 20, 40, 60 points completed. All right, so now I need to move on down here. Write 3 sentences describing 3 facts you learned from the presentation. 20 points each. Okay, so I need to think to myself, what did I learn? So I have a few words already put into these 3 boxes to help you get started. Remember, we are writing our sentences as who or what. The subject goes here. Do, verbs, action words here, and more information. So I'll do one as an example. So who or what? Okay. Well, what did I learn spreads from the presentation? Well, if I go back and I look, okay, I see pandemics are diseases that spread around the world, okay? I also see there are many people who will die from this disease if we do not find ways to stop it from spreading. Okay, so now I might go back and I think to myself, okay, so I could write a sentence about diseases, pandemics, or coronavirus. I can do any of those. So I think what I might put is diseases spread around the world causing a pandemic. I want you to write a different sentence on your own paper. So now I go down here. Answer the questions below. How do you think pandemics change the culture in a country? I think pandemics change the culture in a country by blank. How do you think pandemics change the economy? Remember, economy means it has to do with money in a country. I think pandemics change the economy in a country by, tell me what you think will happen. How do you think pandemics change the politics or government leaders in a country? I think pandemics change the politics in a country by blank. So here, tell me what you think will happen to the government. What will happen to the money in a country and the jobs and the businesses? What will happen to the culture? What will happen to the way people act and the things people use every day here? Okay, so when you're finished with that, you're going to move on to assignment number 2. Okay, so assignment number 2 is Black Death Primary Source Analysis. This is where we start talking about the plague. So here, you need to start by reading the before questions and the introduction. Answer the questions in these boxes. Finish the sentences in blue by answering the questions in black. You're going to do the during reading questions. So you're reading this primary source. Remember, a primary source is from history. This is a text piece from this book that was from the Renaissance during the Black Death. So answer the during reading questions by finishing the sentences in blue. Use the pictures to help you understand, and then complete the after reading questions by finishing the sentences in blue. Now, your very last assignment that I'm going to explain to you very quickly, I will have a separate video for this as well. You are going to have a project starting today and going until the end of our online learning, whenever that may be. Here is my example. You are creating your own primary source because this is a very important event in history. So I want you to record what you do every day and how you feel every day. So that way, years from now, when people want to figure out, what was it like to live during the coronavirus pandemic? They can look back at your records, similar to how we are looking back at the records of this person here who lived through the Black Plague. That's all for today. I hope you are all healthy and that you are having a good time staying home with your families. I miss you all. And please email or text me or call me if you have any questions. And please remember to look at your syllabus because it has the class calendar. Thank you.